Hello and welcome to this Fotospeed video with me, Tim Jones. Today we are carrying on a series called Printing 101, and today we are looking at a subject that is quite close to everyone's heart, I suppose, and that's how to save some money and actually print on a budget. Because the first thing people always say to me about printing and the barrier to get into printing is if we put the technical side kind of to the side, because we can kind of help you with that and get you up to running and things like that with it. But people always say to me, it's expensive. Printing is expensive. And relatively, it is. Hopefully in this video, I'm going to show you that it doesn't have to be that expensive and it doesn't have to be super expensive, that we can actually print quite happily on a budget and get some really amazing results out of our printer. So I'm going to start with printers, then run through some papers, and then also some little tips I found to kind of help you along the road and kind of help you to maximize your investment into your printing journey. But before we get into any of that, please don't forget to subscribe to the Fotospeed YouTube channel and also sign up to the Fotospeed newsletter on photospeed.com. And also don't forget you can order directly from photospeed.com, or you can order if you're in the US, you can order from Midwest Photo, and if you're in mainland Europe, order from Color Europe. Okay, but I'll put all the links and everything in the description below to all of that, so you can visit their websites and have a look at all the amazing Fotospeed papers on offer. Okay, so let's look at printing on a budget and kind of how we'd go about thinking about printing on a budget. Because if you go on our website and you start looking at papers and incredibly expensive printers and things like that, you'd probably think that printing is a very expensive pursuit. And then we don't even get into the murky world of ink costs either. However, it doesn't have to be that expensive, but it's worth bearing in mind to start with, before we get into this, that there is going to be a cost associated with printing. If you think of any hobbies you do or pursuits you do outside of your work life or in your retired life, then there is going to be a cost to that. It may be you like visiting National Trust places or going to monuments or looking at historical buildings and things like that. There is going to be a cost to that. There could be admission in, there's going to be fuel, etc. You could play a sport as well. You're going to need to buy the equipment and balls for it. I know someone said to me in the past about golf, there's always going to be an expense with it. So you've got memberships with golf, you've got golf balls equivalent to your ink and things like that, and also your clubs and things equivalent to printers. So no matter what hobby you do, there is always going to be an expense to it. However, it's how much investment you put into that to start with. And do you need to put in the big investment of the really expensive fine art papers and also kind of the super duper massive printers with 10 and 12 inks in them and things like this? Well, to start with, I would say probably not. If we start with printers, I would say that to get a good photographic printer, I think realistically we are probably looking around that £200, £300 mark. Now, sadly, one of the printers I would always recommend in this situation for kind of an entry-level, nice budget type of printer would be the Canon IP8750. However, Canon have sadly discontinued this, and they haven't really given us a replacement as yet. I think they've lowered the price slightly of the Pro 200S, which is their A3 kind of Pro 8-ink die machine, which is absolutely fantastic, but it does still sit around that £400 mark. So it is a little bit more of an investment, but again, a beautiful printer. But I'll touch on the bigger printers a little bit later on and why you might want to go for a slightly more kind of pro level, kind of advanced printer than kind of a basic kind of entry level printer in a minute. So with that Canon printer out the way, we're only really left with one option, which is the Epson XP 15000. It's a dye-based printer with 6 inks in it, and it's also got a grey ink in there. So with a little bit of work, with some good custom profiles that we can help you with here, it will produce some really, really nice prints. Now, the downside to it is the ink costs are a little bit more expensive. The basic rule with printers is the bigger you go, the cheaper the ink gets. So that is where, if you are going to be printing a lot of pictures, and we're talking weekly, even daily, printing pictures, and you want to minimize costs and maximize your output at the lowest investment, then it may be more cost effective in the long run to look at a more expensive printer, and even an A2 printer, to be honest, because A2 is where the ink costs basically halve. If you compare the Canon Pro 310, their new A3 machine, about that £680 mark at the minute. Don't quote me on that. The prices do go up and down quite regularly. And then you look at, say, the A2 equivalent of that, which is the Pro 1100, which is about that, I think it's about that £1,200 mark at the minute, price-wise. Big investment, almost double the cost. However, the ink costs are half. So you're looking at about £1.20 a mil on the Canon 310 and about that 60p mark on the 1100 per mil I'm talking about there. So give you an idea, in an A3 print usually uses about 2 mil in total. So again, your massive saving. However, to get that money back, you're gonna have to be printing a lot. So you're gonna have to be doing £600 worth of prints and ink to get that money back. So you're gonna have to be printing a lot of pictures, thousands in a sense. So there's something to think about as well. And then also you've got the quality options with those 10 and 12 ink printers. You'll get better detail in the shadows and highlights and things as well. So again, it's that investment. So printer-wise, I would say probably get the best printer you can afford, but you're not going to be unhappy with, say, that XP 15000 around that £200–250 mark. I would say probably start there. Lower than that, look at the lower price bracket than printers, you really do notice a quality issue with, say, 4 inks in there as well. Quality wise, 6 inks are probably the minimum you want for some really good photo printing. Now, the other saving you can make is paper. Now, you don't have to go for the really expensive fine art papers. To give you an example, a paper like NST Bright White, which is a fine art cotton paper, absolutely stunning and pretty much what I recommend you can print anything on and absolutely bulletproof, or our Platinum Baryta. So they work out about that £1.40 mark per sheet of A4. Near enough £3 for a sheet of A3. So again, very expensive. So if you keep making mistakes and you've got a lovely box of 25 sheets of A4, you will soon be burning through that if you haven't got good color management in place and things like that. So that's another tip, is to take advantage of our custom profiling service, and also watch the videos we've done on screen calibration and also profiling and things like that, and getting those foundations of printing in place first, so you don't waste any of this lovely fine art paper and things, because again, it is expensive. At £1.40 a sheet, and you're starting burning through boxes of 25 sheets, then it gets very expensive, especially if you're in A3 and things as well, and even A2 as well, it gets very expensive. However, you don't have to go in for those fine art prints, really. The fine art papers made of cotton and things. A really good option if you are on a budget is our photo range of papers, like our PF Gloss and Lusters and Matte Ultra as well. These papers are absolutely fantastic and give amazing results and are worthy of gallery prints. I know many people that have printed on, say, a Photo Smooth Pearl and had them mounted and framed them and displayed in gallery situations. It doesn't have to be a fine art paper to display within a fine art setting like a gallery or anything. It's a bit of a misconception in that kind of way. If you want to make fine art prints according to the Fine Art Trade Guild and things, then that's a slightly different issue, because the photo range of papers are not classified as fine art prints or fine art material under the Fine Art Trade Guild kind of rules and regulations, but they are absolutely fantastic and will produce perfect prints. And if you use with pigment inks as well, they will last a very, very long time as well. Matte Ultra is a really nice, inexpensive paper, produces beautiful prints, mounts beautifully as well, and I've printed for gallery situations on Matte Ultra, and it has been absolutely fantastic and really bulletproof for me. That works out about 45p for a sheet of A4. So you're saving yourself £1 every time you print on that Ultra. And it's a great paper to learn on as well. We also do it in a Duo as well, but also like a PF Luster, that works out about 53p for an A4 sheet as well. So there is, like I said at the start, there is going to be a cost, but it doesn't have to be those extremes. So you could save yourself £1, especially when you're learning to print and getting used to your printer and things like that. Then those photo range of papers are an excellent, and I mean, they will do club prints, exhibition prints, they will do competition prints. Absolutely fantastic. If you're going for awards and things, I have been at many competitions and awards where I've seen prints printed on these photo range of papers, and they look absolutely stunning as well. If you did want to look at the fine art papers and the little bit extra gravitas and also the little bit of textures and the makeup of the papers as well, then you could start looking at those. But learn your craft of printing on the photo range of papers and kind of those everyday papers to start with, so you're not burning through loads of paper and you're not getting frustrated and not printing effectively, because we want you to print. We want to spread the word of print. And my last point really is, you don't have to print big. Don't think you have to print at A4 or you have to print at A3 or A2 even. So when you start printing, I certainly found this as well, there seems to be a little bit of a thing where you have to print big. You just want to print big. The biggest your printer will be able to do and really print big. However, just think about size. You may not. You might want to print at 6x4 and do really little print. So again, it's really nice and intimate for the viewer to come and have a look at your prints and get involved in those prints as well. If you print absolutely huge, that's absolutely fine. If you want to print A2 and that, but bear in mind there is going to be a cost to that. So printing small is going to be a little bit better for you. So if you've got a box of A4, you may want to cut it in half. So instead of 50 sheets of PF Luster you've got in your box, you cut it in half and you've got 100 A5s all ready to go in your printer and produce beautiful prints as well. It's just well worth looking at that and thinking about size as well. And if you need to print at a really big size to make an impact for your subject, I would say most subjects that we're thinking about, apart from if you've got massive sprawling kind of vista landscapes and things, most of us will get out of printing at A4 absolutely fine, or even A3 possibly if you want to go that bigger. But you don't have to go absolutely huge. So it's worth thinking about that as well. And also then the paper costs and the ink costs and things, half as well. One last thing is your time. Your time is expensive as well. So if you can put into process a way of printing that works for you, that's nice and quick. I always say to people, if you can just click print, you've got your foundations in place, be it your screen calibration, your paper and printer profiles as well, and all your color management, the boring bits in place, then it will make your life a lot easier. And also, perhaps you might want to run a little bit of a test and things before you print a big print as well, because yeah, it seems like you're using a bit of paper to just perhaps do a little test. However, it's better to use a little bit of paper to do a test and waste that bit of paper perhaps than it is to do a big A2 or A3 and waste a big sheet of that. So think about those kind of terms as well. But time is important, so get those foundations in place. We can help you with color management and we can get you up and running and advise you on that as well. And also, don't forget about the Fotospeed Academy classes as well, because you can come along, you can learn about the foundations of printing. You can learn in our masterclasses with amazing ambassadors that come in and show you how to get the best out of your images for print. All the classes are practical, so we do printing on the classes as well. And it's well worth the investment to actually come on a class, learn how to do it, and then hopefully you can save some money in the long run as well and get the best out of your printer and the best value for money in your investment in your printing as well. But I'm going to end it there. I hope that's given you some ideas and some thoughts on how to kind of print more cost effectively and a little bit more on a budget. So Please don't forget also that we have extensive videos on the YouTube channel as well. So please click that subscribe button and have a look at all our videos to help you along the way on your printing journey. Also, don't forget to sign up to the Fotospeed newsletter, because we will have exclusive products and discounts as well to save you a little bit of money in the newsletter. And also, please download the Art of Printing, the free ebook from us here at Fotospeed, because that will give you insights and things into the printing process as well. And also, don't forget to order all your paper on photospeed.com. And if you're in the US, please go to Midwest Photo. And if you're in mainland Europe, go to Colour Europe. We release new videos here every week on the Fotospeed YouTube channel. So I will see you next week. Bye-bye.